Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat and today is Thursday, June 13th, 2019. Oh joy, oh bliss. So I wanted to start off today by saying that I am considering adding an additional stream time in the evenings. So normally I stream from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, and from 1 to 2 I eat lunch, I get the VOD rendering to go live the following day, and then I do my daily transcription tasks to, you know, survive, earn money, that sort of thing. That's my quote day job. Is I do transcription, and I do that about 2 or 2:30 ish until 6. At 6, I then have my dinner until 7, and after that, I am basically free to do whatever I want for the rest of the day. Now, I have noticed that lately I have been not very good with genuinely relaxing in the evenings. It feels like I'm wasting time in the evenings, which is really really weird. And I want to do something with that time, and I'm thinking because I want to do something with that time that I want to stream during that time. Now, I usually go to bed at around 10, so this would have the effect of pushing back the time I go to bed just because I would want to get the stream VOD edited and rendered at least before going to bed. So, but at this point, I don't really know what I would play on the stream during that time, which I've thought maybe I could do a like backlog show, like a clearing the backlog type thing where I just go through uh any of my several games during that time that I have yet to play through, decide whether or not I want to continue playing through them, and if not, move on to something else. If so, keep on going until I finish it. I think that might be a thing that I would like to do because I've got a backlog of games to play that's incredibly long. But that's just one idea I'm having. Um, I guess let me know in comments wherever you're watching this that what you think about having a later stream, what you think about what I could potentially play in that stream. I am Otaku Showboat on Steam. To get an idea of the types of games I own, the only thing that I am going to say hell no to are any horror games. That's the one thing that I will not be playing. Um, Anyway, today is more of the Pyanodon's playthrough, and today is going to be all about getting additional coke production. Now, I think I was in the process of making stuff and things. I don't know if I'll have enough stuff and things for what I'm going to do. I probably need burners. I only have the one burner right now. Ooh, I need titanium. Let's grab some of this. Keep on keeping on with the burners with the stone. Oh, also, as of today, I also have a second light shining down upon me. So I have both of my barn door lights shining down upon me from on high above and in front. Now, this has the effect, actually, of casting two shadows from my chair onto my green screen, which is not the best of ideas, but the effect of adding the second light does even out the shading, I guess, more than what the extra shadow reduces it by. But if that I'm wording that correctly, so it helps with my my chroma key for the webcam. So that is ideal, and it also means I can change settings a little bit. Is my car even up here? Where's my car? Did I... Oh. I'm like, where's my car? It's all the way back there. Maybe I should just, like, make another car? Carrying around the materials for it, I may as well. I have 90 mining drills. Is that how many I need? I think I'm going to need more than just 90 mining drills. Going to toss that concept out there. Because I think I've... Whoa, buddy. That is not what I want. I wanted to just hit F to pick stuff up. Yeah, that's a bit more sufficient. Maybe also grab another stack of those. Okay, I was going to head out to this coal patch and mine all of it. If I'm not mistaken... If I put down a U into that, I was looking at... It's 9 of these for full red, that's 2 yellows, which is 60 miners, and then what's the building? The quenching tower, which I have 6 of. Yes, I have 6 of these for coke from Red Hot. These will produce 1.07 on that. For 48 and 12 is 60, which is 4 total yellow belts of outputs, which is a little more than 3 on the coke itself. Although I should note that this is 7.5 per second, this is 7.2 per second, so that is producing more red hot than what I need. And that's fine. I also need 240 units per second of water. Okay, let's head on up and over to that coal patch. Oh, one more thing. I need electric poles. One more thing. Just one more thing. With these poles. Oh, hello. I honestly don't really know what I want for tech at the moment. I guess I will pick up lead 2. Eventually I'll get around to doing advanced lead processing. So once I get this additional production of coke, I'm actually going to pick up these gasifiers that I'm not currently using, because they are in my way. Really? Hello. Pick those up. Thank you. I'm gonna get out here. What can I remove from my inventory? Iron sticks, apparently. I do not need sand castings or treated wood on my person. Pipe. Yeah, pipe would probably be also something that I need. Just standard pipes. Here's the standard pipes. Now it's just a matter of heading on out. Actually want to get a look at my power situation overall. Power is doing fine. I will need additional coke, a lot of additional coke, for the aluminium casting process that I'm currently working on. In particular, I need the coke to produce lime. Now that's one thing I want to search for is... So lime is only made through this process. There's no other method of making lime. So you absolutely need a bunch of coke for lime anytime lime is required, and lime is required in the aluminium pulp 1 recipe. So off I go to go get that. Now I should have some of those, yes. One thing I also want to do is have a look at what is close by to this particular coal patch. I want to see if there's any water that is close to this coal patch that I'm heading up to. If I'm not mistaken, I set the map to have much larger water patches that are spread. Ooh, hello. Please tell me. Yes! Yes! Okay. So, these little shallow water patches. This is actually a godsend here at this particular positioning. Because this allows me to get this coal patch. There's even a little bit of copper up here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. There's a couple coppers up here. And a titanium. Titanium will require acetylene, not coal, sadly. But I can see that there actually is a much more normal patch of water relatively close by. And this is actually a lot smaller of a patch than I was expecting it. Can I even get 60 drills on this? That's going to be the question of the day, I think. But yeah, I can place the offshore pump on these, which is great, because that will be essentially infinite sources of water right here without having to worry so much. Yeah, they slow you down, but you can walk over them. You can't build on any of these shallows, though, which is unfortunate. 26. Yeah, this should get to 60 just fine. I'm worried about this one. All these ones in the core are fine, it's just these ones on the end that are not going to last very long. So I'm going to put down more than 60, just so that I can accommodate running out. This will be a lot easier with 4 belts coming out. And I at least want to attempt to make sure everything is even. So this ends up being 92, which is technically 3 yellow belts. Or I should say 3 belts at 15 meters per second. Or items per second, excuse me. Okay, get these going. All of this is destined to be coke. Well, not quite absolutely all of it, just ultimately 2 full yellow belts worth are destined to be coke. Alright, Alright, how do I want to... Then it's just a matter of hooking up here. That one's not required. So after I get this done, it's setting up those red hot coke production furnaces and quenching towers. And then belting the resulting coke into my main bus on its own separate lanes. And I will note that the byproduct, the coal dust, while I can turn that into syngas, I'm currently producing more than enough syngas. It's a good product to turn into syngas. It's good to have that ability to turn it into syngas, but at the moment, because I don't need it, I will just void that coal dust. Correction, I might divert some of it into like a warehouse or something, if I can even make any warehouses with what I currently have on me. Short answer is no, because I don't have any wood on me, apparently. Let's see, nickel processing 2. Let's get these. Down. Do 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 do. Excuse me. Four-lane balancer. Only going to use 2 of these. Reposition my mic a little bit. And yeah, let's add power to this. Now I can run power directly from my aluminium, which is what I'm going to do. Now, what is my alignment here? I want to make sure I align on that line. Hello! Hello, Twitch chat. I am just going out of my way to get some additional coke. That is all I am up to at the moment. After which I will be focusing on getting some aluminium plate casting through, ultimately through pulp 2. But I need to make pulp 1. Pulp 1 requires quite a bit of coke. Through the requirement for lime, for the amounts of it that I want to make. And of course I'm going to hit every single rock on the way, because I have some volcanic biome here. I do enjoy the extra variation in alien biomes. I do not enjoy all of the rocks. Need a tour of my base. Okay. Let's see. Most of it's in radar range. So let's have a look-see here. I have a little bit of steam power, but most of my power comes from burning syngas and burning aromatics. So I have some aromatics here and some syngas here in powerhouses. I also have some hydrogen up here being burned because I have a big line of electrolyzers giving me oxygen and hydrogen. So much hydrogen that I can't even burn it all for my power. I've got some titanium processing. I've got borax processing, which there's some new borax ore that was fairly recently released. Let's see here. I've got aluminium right here that I'm working on improving to a different process. Copper, that will eventually get moved over to the molten process. Mining of some titanium right here that will be moved later on. I've got some non-zero amounts of concrete going. I've got my plate casting for iron set up. So I have to make molten iron, making it currently through processed iron ore, which is this big jaw crusher line, which isn't fully efficient. I think I need to add another 4 to this, maybe, to be at ratio for what I built down here. But either way, I'm casting plates for iron through this process, which is quite efficient, and will only keep getting more efficient as I go through the techs. Over here, it's all of this stuff is meant to make phosphoric acid. That is what all of this stuff is mining some dino bones into phosphate rocks, and then crushing them and basically washing them and converting them into various different forms of acids until I get to phosphoric. It's phosphorus is the first, phosphorus acid into phosphine and a little bit of phosphoric, and then the phosphine into phosphoric. And then outposts, here's my current iron. Looks like I need to migrate a little bit more on the iron. My current copper's over here, which again, it looks like I need to move a little bit on there. The coal is running out. What do I do with my ash? What do I do with my ash? So over here, I'm burning excess ash that I'm producing, but otherwise the process here, this process is taking ash in to make phosphorus acid. This is the first demand I have for ash, and as you can see, it's got plenty of it. It's got more than enough of it, and this process is limited by my wood production, which at this point I have moved all of my wood over to consuming ash, which I have a bit of coke production right here already, which I'm fully converting into... I'm fully converting the coal dust that comes out of this into syngas, and I'm taking the flue gas from this and turning it into ash. So I've got plenty of ash being output, and I am making wood out of it, basically. Yes, this is all of my wood production currently. I definitely need to add to it. Part of what I'm doing right now is I am adding a lot more coke production in a different location so that I can basically delete this whole thing here to add to the wood production area. So that I am not quite choked for the wood in this stuff, because this is what's going to be my ultimate bottleneck when doing the aluminium plates through pulp. Otherwise, I've just got some borax mining all the way up here. Oh, and then I have all of the tar. I have all of the tar on the planet being produced, both up here and down here. So I am absolutely not choked on tar, and that is why I am actually converting tar into coal gas right now, even though it uses a ton of tar. I've got lots of it, so it's going into coal gas, it's going into aromatics, and it's going into power, basically. So that is all of that, the quick rundown of the base. I've got also, if I go down the bus, because that's what I haven't really done yet, so that's wood. This is the... How much power is this? Everything I have right now is consuming about just over 60 megawatts. And it has the... Apparently it has the potential for so much more, but we shall see about that. Definitely we shall see about that. Partly because everything that I have on the bus right now, I've got a little bit of trickle of coal from mushrooms. I've got some engines stockpiling. Got a bit of red science through one machine. Bit of my belts automated. I've got my small parts automated. Yeah, it lies when using the combustion turbines. I definitely know that. It behaves oddly too, if you're using steam engines, like how much it uses between the two can vary. Let's see, so I've got buffers on the circuit ones. I've got acetylene going. I've got, again, the creosote into aromatics with power. And then all of this from basically here onward to the right is all feeding into the circuit 1 production. Which, yeah, circuit 1's right here, currently limited by these guys, which I just need to add another machine at this point to increase that. Got some mining drills and assembling machines going. Then up here is the chromium. I literally turned my bus north just to tap into this chromium. To get a little bit of chromium. And then from here up is green science and rubber. And burning off excess hydrogen. Yeah, rubber, and then rich clay. Some lime? No, boron trioxide, that's what that one is, and it goes into all of the various things needed for the green science. Let's see, zinc too, I'm not even mining zinc yet. And then I have my inserters up here, although it's desperately in need of duralumin. desperately in need of duralumin. That's why I'm working on getting my aluminium casting done, and then my copper casting done, so that I can use the more efficient duralumin process. Why still using the steam engines at all? Because there are times... let's just say there's a reason why I'm trying to get more coke. And that is because my combustion turbines stopped working recently. And all the energy I had was from my steam engines. Because I was out of coke. Not enough of it was going into the powerhouses to feed the power. Because powerhouses require coke. Very specifically, they need coke to produce the combustion mixtures. And I just wasn't making enough. That was the last episode, or the last stream of this, was me making coke from Red Hot Coke, so that I could have enough to fuel my power. But I suppose at this point, technically I don't need the steam engines, but they're good for backup. That being said, I should think about doing something like putting them behind a power switch or something. Putting them behind a power switch and just cutting them off unless they are needed in an emergency. Just because of how the grid operates, it's still using them when I could be using more of my combustion furnaces. More issues with fluid dynamics than coke shortage. Yeah, at larger scale, you definitely have to pay attention to any time you're producing more or consuming more than 1200 per second of any fluid, because that's when things start getting tricky. Okay, that should be all of that hooked up. Of course, my solution anytime I need more than 1200 per second of any fluid is just adding in another pipe. Because, yeah, screw the fluid mechanics completely. I am not going to bother with pumps. The only time I'm going to ever really use pumps is to shove fluid into a tank or yank fluid out of a tank. I am actually going to need a third line. Actually, I'm probably going to use all of these lines. Yes, I'm going to use all of these lines. And the reason why I'm going to use all of these lines, I'm going to take this and bring it back and do this. I'm going to use all of these lines because I'm going to have 9 of these basic oxygen furnaces, and these need to be fed by something. They need to be fed fuel, so even though I'm consuming a full 2 yellow belts, I'm going to need something else coming in to feed them. So let me see here. And how do I want to do this? Yeah, add pumps everywhere so that it works flawlessly. Yeah, I really don't like feeling forced to use pumps for absolutely everything. Where are my basic... where are my buffs? Buff! Wait. I'm supposed to have 9 of you. Did I leave one behind? A mistake. Somewhere. Randomly. Most likely. That's highly likely. Alright, buff. Making those. Oh, I also need to bear in mind I need steam in. I'll give things a good think as I continue making what I want to make here. That is doable. This is not doable. This is doable. No, I want to move this at least one down. And do I want a gap of 2 between these? No, I'll keep the gap of 1. And I'll do this. I find that this is easier just to kill the steam output than try to make it back into water. Or at least to keep these independent of each other, because what you can do is you can feed steam back into the basic oxygen furnaces, but it requires more steam than what you make in this process, and if you have steam coming in, what ends up happening is that these quenching towers end up backing up because they have too much steam in them. Second question, why no bots yet? At least the construction ones, just because I haven't gotten around to it? I mean, the only time I'm building up in an outpost right now, and unless I had my personal roboport, which I don't, because that doesn't come for quite some time, having the construction bots won't matter so much. Up here, anyway. And the only times that they would matter is building on the main bus while expanding my construction network, and then every single thing that I would need while constructing would need to be in a box that they have access to. The way I see it with construction bots is they are better when you have the logistics bots and you are automating the production of absolutely everything, and you have everything available to the logistics network. I don't rely on bots in the logistics network. I would very much rely on having construction bots if I had the modular armor with a personal roboport. That would be when I have some construction bots. Now this was a 3-2-2 setup, so like so, then copy this. Oh, there's water there. Interesting. And then it's one more. Why did it clear that when I was clicking on the thing that was marked for deletion? Yeah, and I really don't mind building stuff by hand. Again, there's a problem with not being able to select what's underneath these. Some mod is making things awful. Okay, how much of this gets produced? 75 per second? That would mean I need 2 flare stacks for those, or not flare stacks, gas vents in this mod. How many of those? That's the other thing that I need. 180, these produce... Unfortunately, I think it's only like 30 each. 60. No. 20. So 180, I need 9. Let's see. Yeah, I guess circuit network. Not like I ever rely on the circuit network anyway. Let's see, where are these? Whoa, this is not all aligned properly. Yeah, these... all of these are too far down. And in fact, it was... This one is again too far. Please tell me that's all now aligned. I think so. Why am I using assemblers and not the factories? Because the factories take a absolute crap ton of resources. That's why. It's like I need a lot of I will need a lot of factories, and these... But at the time that I was first able to start making these automated factories, I was not producing anywhere near enough iron plates or copper plates to make enough automated factories. Plus, they're freaking huge. I only use the automated factories when I absolutely have to use them to produce something very specific. That's just my main complaint, actually, with the entire mod pack, is that the machines just take way too many resources. I mean, good looks is highly subjective. I think that the art style used in this mod is too much of a departure from stock and from the rest of the game. And of course these are on a different plane as all of these. That's just wonderful. Nope. There. Much better. Much better. Now it's all aligned. Yes, the speed is nice, but again, when the game is... when Pyanodon's balance, I should say, is very much focused on having a lot of production downstream. So, focused on having a lot of plates for iron and copper, and a lot of steel, and a lot of wood, and even a lot of mushrooms, and even more coke. Everything is limited by all of that downstream production. And what is all of that downstream production not include? Automated factories. Most of it, anyway, does not involve automated factories. And my god, if I had automated factories right now, it wouldn't matter that they move faster because they're just going to be bottlenecked by some downstream production anyway. I mean, yeah, I could make a little bit more red science if all of these were automated factories. But I'd run out of glass. Or I'd run out of my wood. And then I'm in a situation where I just have to keep massively expanding on everything else downstream just to meet the demand of what I am trying to produce, when even with the regular assembling machines, I've got plenty of red science right now. It would only matter when it comes to green science, but my green science is currently bottlenecked very specifically by duralumin. That is the number one thing that is bottlenecking my green science. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Part of the point is build more, but there's also the whole point of design. You are designing. That's what you're doing. Building more, yes, but you need a non-zero amount of the further down resources so that you can build more. It's all about taking what you have and ramping up over time based off of starting lower and then building higher. That's what this is all about. And that's the whole point of having the tech tree to begin with, is you start low and build yourself higher. And I question the point of the existence even, or the ability to even use those advanced, automated factories, when by the time that you're able to produce enough stuff to feed the automated factories, it sort of becomes a moot point. Because if you want to use the argument of building more, why should I use automated factories if I can just build more of the standard assembling machines? Because that's perfectly valid, and the standard assembling machines use a smaller footprint than one of these automated factories. If I really was supposed to build more, if that was the whole point, was to build more, I can solve my issue of building more with regular assembling machines that use way less resources to create than one of these automated factories, and have smaller footprints overall, so I can pack them together in more unique ways than how I can do with any of these automated factories. And then the argument of pollution for biters, that assumes you're using pollution in biters. Biters is a completely separate subject, which add absolutely nothing to the game. In the end. In the end, they add absolutely nothing. They serve more as a detraction from the experience than anything else. They detract from the primary experience of the game. That's my opinion on the matter of biters. And they shouldn't be used. And I personally don't use them. Ever. And because I don't use them, there's no point in having any of their mechanics enabled, which includes pollution. Oh, and don't give me that whole cutting a third of the game. No. There's a reason why it's... every aspect of this game is customizable to get the experience that you want. I am merely cutting a part of the game that I don't find enjoyable in any aspect. It's like, sure, it doesn't matter that it's a third of the game. If that third of the game is of zero enjoyment, then it doesn't matter. I am making the game more enjoyable for myself. What is it the devs say? No wrong way to play Factorio? Yeah, that's the ultimate argument there. Let's see, I want my pressure pumps, because I need 9 of these. Do I want them... I want them a little bit further away. Then connected. There we go. That's the pressured air. I need the water next. How do I want to get the water in? Grab that. Water. Please tell me that there is a spot right there. then it's... I need 2 vents. Now the hard part, which is the logistics. I'm going to need to feed all of the coal in, and at one point shift things. I think I can actually get away with only the 3 lanes flowing in. Oh, right, I need to also do the steam connection. Or would I rather... Because I want to keep this separate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do things this way. So what this will do, basically, is it will keep all of my oxygen furnaces on a separate line from my quenching towers. So that I can basically just vent what's coming out of the quenching towers. Well, no, I'm going to convert it back into water. If I can find wherever the heck the cooling tower is supposed to be. If I have what I need to make it, anyway. I don't, because I don't have enough duralumin. I don't have any on me, so I guess I will just vent it. Sure. Valid enough. And I will sort of bring out on this lane the steam that the quenching towers use. One more. Now these will make 120 per second on steam. That is two gas vents. And it's only 2 gas vents because of a recent change where gas vents now vent 60 units per second versus what it was at 40. Now, I'm assuming gas vents can vent steam. That is a assumption, and we all know what they say about assumptions. Okay, now, question is... need that. I'm going to need steam power as well. Or a non-zero amount of steam. 300 per second, not sure exactly how many boilers I'm going to need for that, but I will need at least a few. I need enough. Good. And that gives me a use for this 4th line. If the game would cooperate. I don't know, something I've got going, it really hates the UPS. Probably this bottleneck mod, combined with everything else. That might be a reason. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to give this its own offshore pump. Hello, tech. Let's start picking up. Lab research speed's pointless because I'm not making enough research to even feed all of what I have. Again, one of those things. It's like, yes, you can always build more. But then why does this, yeah, it's like, why have a lab research speed upgrade if you can just build more labs? It's like, you can build 20% more labs and get the exact same effect as this. Huzzah. What it ultimately does is conserve space, which on a map that's infinite in scale, near infinite, not true infinite, but close enough for purpose. Ultimately, space doesn't matter. The extra 20% research speed only really serves to help out those who've quite literally built themselves into a corner. So that, I think, leaves what to do with the coal dust. And the coal dust can just go away through the use of burners. Now, I'm going to hope that 5 burners is enough to take 12 units per second, but part of me has my doubts. Let's add 5 more. Let's be safe. Or at least craft 5 more just in case, and add as necessary. Then I need fuel in, because these require fuel. Oof, running out of inserters. At least I should definitely always have regulars handy. It's the lack of duralumin that's why I don't have as many fasts. Speaking of fasts, I sort of need these feeding in like so. Yes, that works. Ooh, I don't think I have enough of the blues. Oh, I have just enough. Just enough of the blues to cover that. Right, that's that step. Getting the coke out will be a massive, massive pain. Because I effectively only have these. Well, this machine in particular is going to be difficult. That helps a little. The steam coming out here. Oof. Yeah, this is gonna be tricksy. I'll figure it out. Let's worry more about getting the stuff in than on getting the stuff out. In fact, doesn't really matter where you are. You can be on the same line, for all I care. That pulls from these two. Now there will come a point that I have to terminate and swap over. I think that's after... I'll do that after the fourth one here. And what this means is bring that down, end that, and bring that to there. I think that should make sure everything is fed. I don't think that spot's big enough to have an offshore pump on it. That would be quite convenient if that was the case. Yeah, it's like, oh, it would have been so nice to have one right in there, but oh well. Actually, I think that is where I will end up rerouting things, or maybe just bring it out over here. Just to help a bit on the logistics. Part of me really wants to have a filter inserter set up here. That would be 12 inserters. Nah. So this is going to end up being... I said it was 3 lanes in total, so every Every 2 is its own output. No, it's 4 lanes. It's 4. Ugh. Logistics. Ugh. Okay. This is being moved down a lot. And of course, the reason is because I need these for spacing. I need the spacing. Things were just a little bit too close. So, 4 yellow belts out from 6 buildings. Okay, part of that will mean... Six to 4 is 3 to 2. So for these 3, it'll be 2 out. Not going to worry about balancing them until I bring all 4 together. So you can just come straight out. One of these machines is more than half a yellow belt. So, in case you aren't noticing, I'm going to be giving each of these its own belt, basically. I'm doing it on each side like this, just to, make sure that everything is even. Now, I'm going to hope that just having 2 reds is fine. That each red can move 5 items per second. Factorio, inserter speed. What is the inserter speed in items per second? Items per second at no capacity bonus on a long-handed inserter is 1.15. Do I have a capacity bonus? I do. That makes it 2.31, and I need 10. So 5. I would need 5, where I would need a normal inserter. But I can't use a normal inserter at all in this. In fact, the only place I can even add an inserter is right here. Unless I move over the water. Then I can add another. So I said I needed... I would need 5. Well, unfortunately, I can't really do 5 long-handeds here. But I can do... Let's see, what's a standard inserter? That would be slower. Standard inserter would be slower. A fast would move at 4.62. Let's see here. These are 0.83. I don't need 2 blues on these. So I'm going to make use of my blues with the stack speed. Well, with the stack bonus and the speed of them. And what I will do is stick that there. Now these are 4.62 items per second. 4.62. Let's bear that in mind. So 4.62 plus 2.31 plus 2.31, that's 9.24, so I'm still a little bit short. Now, if I do 2 of these, as something like that, that should get me over the edge. And I will also note that the filter inserters move at the same speed as blues. Now the good question is, do I have enough blue inserters in total for this? I think the answer to that is no. I'm also going to have to do balancers, lane balancers. That will give me the 2 full belts out, and then it's the same thing over here. But let's see, it's 2, 4, 6. I have exactly enough. Exactly enough. Belt balance. This will make more than 2. This will make more than 1 output. I can't do this like this. Then last up is you. And then the fun part, I now need to filter out the coal dust. How am I going to filter the coal dust through these? Because right now technically all 4 of them are contaminated with coal dust. They're evenly distributed. Oh boy, and I can't run all of them through. Alright, is there a way of making one of these such that I can filter the coal dust out among all of them? but I have more than... I can't do that. I think I can do this. So I have to filter each input in turn. Is there any... I think this works. Maybe. No. I have to think of the logic behind this one. So here's the deal. I have 80% of a yellow belt that is contaminated. I don't think that this is going to work at all because I need pretty much exactly 80% to go towards that one output, and the other 3 have to be Coke, full of Coke. Because 48 and 12 over 15 totals 4. So it's 3.2 basically of yellow. This is essentially 3.2 and this is 0.8. So it's not 3 full Coke. Maybe this would work. Would this work? It's not 4 full belts. It is 4 full belts in. Oh, this is eluding me. I don't think that this is going to work, but we shall see. These should be 2 belts evenly. Ultimately, what I could do as a guarantee is something like this. And that makes sure that I have the more than 1 full yellow belt of Coke coming out with the less than 1 full yellow belt of cold dust escaping. Then I don't have to worry at all about doing any of that nonsense. And ultimately it just ends up being 3 lanes out. Okay? Okay. That is how I will do this. Ooh, that's not good. There we go. That would have added like half of a lane to contaminate this belt. Just the way that the mechanics of undergrounds work. So if I had this underground here, half of this, like this bottom lane, would feed into this side lane on that belt, which is not intended. Now, if I'm not completely mistaken, I think I'm ready to go. So there's those. Oh, I'm missing... that one. Everything has power. Do I have to do my balancing sooner? Maybe. Well, it looks like everything's getting shoved out without backing up. I don't think this is very... I think this needs to actually be a balancer. Fortunately enough, the 4-4 balancer works because it is balanced regardless of what lanes are actually getting input or output. So that actually takes 3 inputs, and it takes anything up to 4 inputs and evenly balances in up to 4 outputs. So you can use this 4-4 balancer to have just 1 in and 1 out, or you can have 2 in and 1 out, or 2 in and 3 out, or in this case 3 in and 2 out, and have it work. It's not the most efficient use of resources, but it is good enough for purpose, and I have to redo this a bit. Coal dust. That lane. That lane. And that should do it. Okay, why are you not burning? Are you kidding me? If that's a change, that's a recent change. That is a recent change, if that is the case. Why, you little freaking Pyanodon, why would you do this? Why would you do this? New plan. Okay, coal dust. Coal dust plus water into syngas and ash. I can burn off the syngas and burn off the ash because I know that ash at least can be burned. Yeah, see, it can void ash, but it's not. Yeah, void ash is listed, but not for coal dust. That is highly disappointing. Why is coal dust not voidable? Anyway, you need gasifiers. Well, it's a good thing that I picked up gasifiers. Let's see, how many of these do I need? 2. Fortunately, I only really need 1 vent, but I hate these so much that I will use 2. Output, output. I'm gonna input here. And then it's just a relatively simple matter of hooking up to the water. Adding a bunch of things. Let's see, you need 7.5 per second on your ingredients. The inserter is 1.67. 7.5 over 1.67, that's 4.5, so 5 required per. And then it's only 0.25, which it's even less than that because it's only a 30% chance of producing an ash. That is the solution that I am going to roll with. Huzzah, 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 and all that good stuff. I now have Coke. All of the Coke on the planet is mine. By the way, picking up that stuff, I could warehouse some Coke, but that just means it's a buffer, and the only time I'll notice that there's a problem is when the buffer is empty. So what's the point of having the buffer? You're either making a sufficient amount or you're not. And if you have buffers, just in case you have a not sufficient amount, the only time you're going to notice that you're not at a sufficient amount anymore is when that buffer is gone. Which is a bit unfortunate, but is true. There is something to be said for doing the coal dust filtering here. But no, I'm not. Where's my car? Now I have the pleasure of running 3 belts all the way back to my bus. And I don't have anywhere near enough for even one, I think. I have 324 units of belt left. After all of this shenaniganry. Over half the stream, by the way. I knew that this was going to take a while to fully set up. La-di-di-da, running this along. Running into every rock along the way. Nothing strange or unusual about that. That's just normal. It's just a little unfortunate that there's volcanic biome in my way. With all of the rocks associated with it. I guess at the least I should just kill as many of these rocks as I can along the way. Because I know that these are going to be an issue for me. Hey, good thing I finally made it through that volcanic biome. Looks like we're home free from here. Yeah, we are pretty home free. Oh, hello! Even more ancient remains. Ooh, water. Water, 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 water. That is a little problematic. Because that is on my bus. So it looks like we have to do another turn on the bus again. At some point. Oh, I didn't put down any radars over there. That's unfortunate. Say hello to the point of doing all of this with the, Coke. Where's the other lane? Why am I only getting the one lane? Hold on a minute. Where is the output of the top lane of my tin? Where is the output of my tin? What's going on here? Okay. So here's what has happened. I made a mistake by not setting the input priority on this. Yeah, that was a mistake. I needed an input priority set here, which caused this to back up, which caused this to back up, which meant that the outputs of this stopped moving, which stopped consuming. Ah, boy. Yep. Yep. Oh, and then the other issue is that this is the wrong lane. Because these aren't pulling from that bottom lane at all. Something similar could happen here, but I think it's fine in the end. Because I have a belt balancer here, it'll feed in just fine. But I could say input priority that. Simple enough. That takes care of any potential issues. So there's my tin back again. Such little things can be such big problems. At least I had a massive backup of my tin plates. Really? Stupid rocks. All of the stupid rocks in my way. You also produce CO2. I don't think I'm using any CO2 right now, but I could make some wood with ash and CO2. I think that's a recipe that I have access to. Wood via ash and CO2. Yeah, something's just odd about some of these machines here loading in. Causes frame rate issues, UPS issues, especially when I zoom out. Now, grabbing all the belt. Shift C, grab all the rest of the belt. And I need to define, actually, where on the bus these lines are going to be run. So I'm going to say, right here, this is going to be a thing. And it's going to be all three of these are going to be Coke. And then I will probably also... I will make it 4 by moving the other one onto it. Really, it's gonna look weird, but it's gonna be like that. Because I will move my other Coke lane up. In fact, that Coke lane's not going to even exist. I'm going to delete the input there. Well, considering I'm only running the one line for now, let's make sure I at least have enough belt to take care of the one. Granted, like 60% of that one yellow belt that I'm bringing in is going to be turned into lime. Alright, just running belt now. Whoa, that's not what I want. Oh, come on, draw a straight line. Just stop moving your mouse. Having to clear rocks doesn't help. That would be the only reason, by the way, why I would want to set up construction bots in my base. Tech, you need to not be so distracting to me. Okay, what is the line? This is the line. What? Too far away? Way too far away. Oh, is that more tar? Hey, no, it's crude oil. It's just crude oil. I was like, ooh, tar. Nope, crude oil. Are you effing kidding me? Anyway, it's one tile down. I better not be a tile off, just for reference. I better not be off by any amounts of tiles. We're about to find out. Hey, buddy. Hey, it was correct. Now let's start running this line. Remember, 3 total belts to run through. What the? Why did it end? What's the issue here? Oh, right, I never added back in the gas vents. Oh, are you freaking joking? Pipes! Give me pipes! Vent the steam! You don't vent steam. Steam cannot be voided. Either. Stop! Go away, things. I hate that there's no graceful way in what is it really used for to get out of the window, the search bar. I'm at a slight loss. because I have to get more duralumin to make the thingy to convert it to water. Why can't you void steam? Of all the things, you can't void. Here, have a freaking steam engine. That's actually really big. Have a steam engine with a thing on the grid and consume the steam. What temperature even is the steam? It's apparently 165, which actually is fine on a steam engine. Here, have another steam engine. It's not consuming enough steam to run everything, though. Like, seriously? Looks like no matter what, I'm going to have to head back to the main bus. Car, why are you not rolling? Roll, go, move. Why are you slowing down? I know there's certain terrain penalties, but shouldn't be that big. And no more belt. Biggest rock in the land. Absolutely going to hit it every time. Avoid one set of rocks just to run into another. I need to drink something. Glorious coffee. Okay, pipe. Doink, doink. What's the speeds? 1.5 and that. 2.5, so at least two of these. Two of these on the Coke and one on the... Or better yet, a long-handed on... No, it won't matter. It's 1.67 on a yellow. And a 2.31 on a red, so it won't matter which is which, but a yellow and a red for each. Can't believe I'm finally actually starting to take into consideration the speed of the inserters. I think this is the first time I've ever really given any thought as to how many inserters are actually necessary for inputs and outputs. It's 6 of these, which is enough to get burned from 1. Also need to set up the lime. Alright, give me belts, give me duralumin, give me all of the things. Give me inserters. Actually, no, I've got plenty. There's no duralumin making it all this way. I need a water tower, at least 1 water tower. Cooling tower, I should say. Cooling tower is there, needs 30. Of course, the issue that I'm trying to solve requires stuff that I'm not producing enough of. It requires the thing that I'm trying to produce more of. Is this really, like, all of my production? Don't worry, I have another car at the start of the bus. There's 1. I probably do want more than 1. Yeah, may as well focus on sending the aluminium down into this machine so I can keep getting duralumin. Alright, so that's 2 cooling towers. How many sinkholes am I carrying? None. None is the answer to that question. Grab some of you. Sinkholes. Grab all of you. Right. I mentioned something about a car being over here. I should pick up more pipe on the way. Off to the races. I guess while I'm here. La -di 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 -da. Get all of the power going. I'm going to need power, and I'm going to need water. Oh hey, I have water. No, I have a line that will eventually lead to water. Oh hey, it's the first Coke. Now the question is, do I want to go and finish running the rest of the lines, or do I want to focus on finishing up this? I think I want to finish up this. And since I know that this is the beginning, the first lane of 4, I can just keep doing this all the way down. And it should be perfect? Yeah. Yeah, that works. That works. Abso-freaking-lutely. That works. And then, power. Oh. Power. Right. That's going to be... Ooh, I'm out of undergrounds. Isn't that freaking awesome? There we go. Excellent. For the record, it's 7.5, which is 7.5 over 4.62 is 2. Or 1.6 something. So I do not need 4 here. Ah. That would help too. That, as they say, should be that. Just add lime and water. Well, this will be lime. Lime is only... Oh, it's 1.33. Why does it have to be more than 2? Let's at least make an attempt at avoiding undergrounds where possible. Okay, that will be lime. Lime is going to be only 1 per second, actually. And 6 per second, that's less than a lane. But I have to plan for future. Potential future expansion. So, better to have the balanced belt. Then, soil extractors. Down here. Making limestone. I need 6 per second, 4 of these. What the hell? La di di da, limestone. That's 5 every 6 seconds. Oddly enough, this makes you more limestone. Boy. But it requires slacked lime, which, yeah, get out of acetylene, which also requires calcium carbide, which is from lime. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Too bad I don't have lubricant. Yeah, it looks like this is the only real process for this. So, how does 30 soil extractors sound? 30 soil extractors. How much, soil extractors are down here. I need stone. I also need water, so I may as well grab a water line. Speaking of which, I think this is actually a closer source of water now than this. And I sort of think I want a dedicated water line for this. Maybe? I've got like 3 lines left for my liquid bus here as it stands. So, oh, that's gonna be unfortunate running over that tin. So I guess, I mean, next to this pulp would be the next. So this will be a water line all the way up. It'll be interesting when I turn my bus, because this line will have to keep going north when I eventually change directions. Now, I'm just assuming that this is the more convenient source of water, and that there's nothing else. Like, there's no shallows close. Because the shallows are over here. This is all shallow water, all of this blue. And this is actual water up over here. Offshore pump. Offshore pump. Do I need to make an offshore pump? Maybe. Always have offshore pumps. So there's my water line. To feed 30 soil extractors, I will need 600 units of water, is what I think that said. Then I need a bit more to feed into the pulp thing. So 2 of these, that's 66.67, that I'm not too worried about. Speaking of which, I now need to actually begin worrying about the actual alignment of stuff in relation to my bus. Don't need to worry too much, because not everything is belts. But, oh. There's that water in. And I'll need another water in further down. I'll need to grab more underground pipes as well. Alright, time to go grab what I need to make all of these soil extractors. It's going to need quite a bit of stone. Stone and iron, if I'm not mistaken. Iron and circuits and small parts. Ugh. Die. Stuff. Stuff must die. What is with all of this stuff in my inventory? Oh boy. Die. Right, I need to go set up those cooling towers as well. So I have 4 put down. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. Need 10 more. 5 more. apparently it wants actual... Ah, it wanted the copper for the small parts. Three. Now, I guess it needs copper for tinned cable. Alright, go grab more copper. Copper I have way down here. I should just run this copper. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be enough. I'm just pulling this up to have access to the copper just a little bit easier when I need to build stuff. While this handcrafting is going, it's going to take a little while to finish. I will head over and put down those cooling towers. I do hope that 2 cooling towers will be enough. Correction, 2 cooling towers and... Ooh, that needs kerosene. Interesting. I should also tap a stone at some point. Rocks, so many rocks, so many rocks, so many rocks, and then slow down for the terrain. Ugh. Because, yeah, this is nowhere near the amount. Alright, so anywhere where it's like green or blue or red is areas of slowdown. But where it's pure gray, it's fine. Cooling tower. Why would I even be able to make that yet? Don't know. Don't know, don't care. Next. Oop, I said next. Water, water everywhere. Needs to be avoided. Let's see, 150 per second. You are making 120. Yeah, 1 is fine. But this needs a couple sinkholes actually to... Or I can just feed it right back in. Let's feed it right back in. Oh, right. Oh, right, and then overflow. Overflow valve. Actually, I want 2 overflow valves, and the reason I want the extra overflow valve is because that forces flow in one direction. So when I do this, it's able to pull out the, well, it's pulling out 120, and then the other 30 just goes out to be used in here. So this should always eat up everything. I shouldn't even need these anymore, but I find it funny, so I'll keep it there. I find it highly hilarious, so I'll keep it there. Yeah. And that, my friends, is everything moving. Everything is awesome. And remember, it's... technically, it's like 3.2 lanes? It's like 3.2 lanes of coke output. So really I can bring a 4th lane out. But it's not 4 full lanes. So it's like, why bother with that 4th lane? Oh, that's convenient. Don't have to break that rock. I have to break that one, though. And yes, I know that the 2nd lane isn't even fully hooked up yet. Oh, believe me, I know. This is more to reduce the amount of work that I have to do later. Slash getting this lane out of the volcanic zone. Of course I run into the rocks. I always run into the rocks. Likely going to be more rocks that I'll run into along the way. Or need to demolish because they're in the way. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure I did this math right. That will be 30 in the end. Fortunately, I think I only really need one output inserter, and a yellow should be okay. Really? Out of my way, rocks. Just because having 30 of these, that's not even a full... Yeah, that's not even a half of a yellow belt. And it's only 6 per second total. So definitely more than a yellow inserter will be capable of. Or lower than what a yellow inserter is capable of. Why do I always mess that up there? Looks like I need more undergrounds, pipes. So let's just do the inserters for now. About 15 more minutes left in the stream. For reference. Just making sure the recipes are going on all of the machines as I continue moving down. Get this belt rolling. I'll also need to go and grab some extra power poles. So I will go and start taking care of that, but first I'm just going to place down what I can of the pipe, regular pipe. And start working on those pipe to grounds. Alright. Then also power. What I can on the power. Oh boy, will I actually see aluminium plates in this stream from pulp to casting? I don't think so. I will probably see the pulp 1. Like, I might see pulp 1 in non-zero amounts, but I don't think I'll be seeing pulp 2 or casting into plates, which is a little unfortunate. Just not quite enough time in today's stream. But I did get the extra coke production done, which was the point. the whole goal of this stream was the additional several lanes of coke production. And I'm happy for that. I am happy that I got that done. I do apologize for getting a bit testy, though, while sorting it out. Back. Performance! Oops! My oops! Ba-ba. Grab that as well. Grab those. Sorry, grab those as well. Do I want to grab anything else? Don't think so. Outside of these. Just do a Shift C, clear out some of the junk. And off we go! That should be that. All that I have to worry about. Performance. My gosh. What is the problem? Probably bottleneck, but you never know. Really. Oh no, I'm stuck. I'm stuck! Destroy it! Destroy it! Break it! Alright, up I go. And stop. Get this power out, then it's getting the pipes all hooked up. Back I go. I'm actually individually clicking each time, by the way. Just so we're clear. I'm not, like, holding down the button. Do I want to just run the water from up here down, or do I want to genuinely connect it? I'll genuinely connect it. I'm pretty sure that's the right thingy. Okay, I need to do this. And this. And when I bring the other lines in, I need, other balancers. That should be the limestone moving, which means the lime can move. I just need to give it power. Okay, lime is moving. slowly but surely. And then it will come in, and it will load in, and it will start producing... Geez, how much lime do you need? And there it goes. Aluminium pulp. We did it. We did it. Aluminium pulp. 1. Aluminium pulp 1 is being produced. Huzzah! What was needed for aluminium pulp 2? I've already completely forgotten. It is out of my mind. Fully gone. Alright, aluminium pulp 2 is in an electric arc furnace. No, that is for making molten from pulp 2 with graphite and borax. Agitators are pulp 2 from 1. Agitator, agitator, agitator. Oh, hello, uranium. Aluminium pulp 2 from pulp 1. Now, this is from 66.67 to these is 66.67. Cool. What else was needed? I didn't look. Whole point was to look at what else. Just steam. Cool. Steam, glorious steam. Now, have I run my pulp pipe down? I have not. Hello, tech. Machines for oil industry, Mark II. Sure. Now, the reason why I want to do my pulp 2 all the way down at the beginning lanes of the bus is just because it's easier to do my casting down here, and I don't need pulp 2 for anything else besides casting or moving to higher levels of stuff later. So that's a thing. Okay, aluminium pulp processing can happen here, I guess. And this would be a little convenient as well, so that I can do the graphite with it. So agitators. It's just 2 agitators plus steam. Actually, you know what? I'll do the final casting up here. Agitators plus steam. Steam. Wow, that's a little funky on how these inputs and outputs are arranged. Anyway, let's see. I want some fresh steam in case you were wondering. I'll take fresh steam. And this is exclusively fluids in and out as well. I don't need to worry too much. Now, unfortunately, there's like 2 minutes left in the schedule of the stream for today. So I'm going to finish off just by bringing this pulp 1 in to start making pulp 2. Somehow. Some way, shape, or form. This should do it. Non-zero amounts of aluminium pulp coming on in. And non-zero amounts of aluminium pulp 2 being produced. Now all I have to do next time is start casting the aluminium pulp 2 into some glorious plates. Oh boy. So, what got done today? What got done today? I got a lot of coke produced. That was the whole point of today. So, suffice it to say, I've made coke. I came up, I started mining this coal patch, started setting all of this up, got a little bit testy when someone was complaining to me about not using the automated factories because, I don't know, they want me to play how they want me to play rather than have me play the way that I want to play. But anyway, with that, I made coke, and I need to bring in my second line, because I've got 2 lines. I'm actually making 3.2 lines of coke. I set up the huge line of limestone into lime into aluminium pulp 1. So all of that is now moving and finished, and now I've just got to start casting aluminium plates, and then I'm done with aluminium for a little while. I can move on to copper next. So next time we'll be finishing up the casting of the aluminium plates, which for now will have the added benefit of producing more duralumin out of this machine, because I'll have a lot more plates coming in. And then once I get the casting through liquid metal of the copper plates, some of that will be siphoned off to go into duralumin. Same with the molten aluminium will go into molten production of duralumin. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat, and I will see you all on Sunday for more of the Pyanodon's playthrough. I will be back tomorrow, Friday, for more of the Angels playthrough. I will see you all then.